Coming up, starting a new ranking series, resort dining. And we're starting with one of my favorite areas, the Skyliner. You're going to want to stay tuned all the way to the end because the top pick, it might not be what you think.
Is top 3 character meals for me. I
Of all,
love.
wait a minute, of all parks, resorts, everything?
Yes.
Hey y'all, it's LJ here, owner and founder of Smart Moms Plan Disney and Smart Moms Travel. We are so glad you're here for another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Now, here's your host, Allie.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. So happy to be here today. I, of course, am your host, Allie. I'm here with Becki and Karla. I feel like it's been a minute since it was the three of us together, so I'm super extra excited today. And Karla, you're wearing our matching jammies set.
I am. I feel like you have to reintroduce me because it's been so long since I've been on here.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
And I'd like to say it's like riding a bike, but it's really not. Or it's like riding a bike with more anxiety and stress.
Yes, it takes a minute to get back into it. But then I looked up for the first time, I feel like, and saw that you're actually we have these matching jammies that our friend Danielle got us.
Shout out to Danielle.
Yeah, that's how you know it's summer break though, right? Because normally you're up and ready, and even if we're super early, you're like ready to step out the door for the real world.
Do you guys set an alarm in summer? Because I don't, but my body naturally wakes up at 6:30.
Yeah, I'm still working. This is the conversation every day at our house because I work a normal 40-hour a week job. I'm up working at 6 a.m. basically every day. So yes, there's an alarm. Thank you, Karla.
Oh, you're welcome. Who starts work at 6 a.m.? What are you doing over there?
I work with a lot of organizations that are over in Europe. So if I don't start at 6, then I miss their entire workday because we're already hours and hours behind them.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
It is terrible. And my body will naturally wake up as well, but doesn't it feel so good when your body chooses to wake up versus the loud sound of whatever you have your alarm set to? It doesn't matter what you set it to. You could try to change it, like make it softer or different. They all are terrible.
We're like 3 weeks into summer and I'm not dreading it yet. I'm actually still on the scale of dreading when school is going to start back up because I'm in that glorious time where like everything's just kind of naturally flowing. I know that that's going to turn soon.
Yeah. So by the time this episode releases, because, we pre-record, this will not be the case anymore. But as we sit here, you both know my kids are gone. They're all at sleepaway camp and it's been wild. They're not home. So we're waking up just whenever we would like. We're off work. So we have this strange week where we're not really working. I mean, I'm doing my Disney stuff, which is so fun. The kids are gone. So I've been just floating in my pool for hours every day. Zan and I have gone out to dinner every night. We're going to a really nice restaurant tonight. It's bizarre. And I'm loving it. It's fantastic.
A staycation.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been really good. And we went to a Thai restaurant last night. And it's here in my town, and I love it so much, but we don't always go because my kids don't like it. My son is just really, really picky. And the night before that, we went to an Italian restaurant, and both nights I tried something that I typically don't enjoy eating. But I was just, like they say every 7 years you'll try something new or whatever. I must be in my try something new era because both nights I just picked up something off Zan's plate and tried it. Stuff that I've avoided intentionally.
What are we talking? Like octopus? Like what are we referring
No, so
to?
you wouldn't think these are a big deal, but I don't like salad dressing. I do not put salad dressing on anything. We were at this really nice Italian restaurant and she had this gorgonzola dressing. And I like gorgonzola cheese. And so I was like, I'm going to try that. And I put it on my salad and I was like lapping it up. I really loved it.
Wait, do you eat salads without dressing? Or do you just not eat salads?
No, I love salad, but I eat it without dressing.
That's
Ew.
no.
That's gross. Do you squeeze a lemon on it? Do you do anything?
Just lettuce.
That's so bizarre.
Like a good robust salad with like lettuce and lots of veggies and good cheese.
Yeah, and dressing. Your score just went down.
So, but Xandra is actually more picky than me, I would say. We were just talking about this last night at the table because we were trying to go to the new Indian restaurant we have in town. And I was looking at the menu and I was just like, I'll try everything on this menu. She will try nothing. Or she was being a really good sport, but it was going to be rice, that she ended up eating.
I love Indian food.
Yeah, me too.
I love Indian food, but the spices do not love me. My belly does not handle any kind of spice. It's in my allergy palette. It's dumb. I hate allergies.
I love allspice, and I've definitely I try to do these things while my kids are gone because my girls are very adventurous. My son, I was picky like him when I was little.
Hmm.
I had a very, very cliche kid palate. You know, the doctor was telling my mom, just let her eat PB&J 3 times a day if that's how she's going to be fed. And that's, at times what I would do. I was the kid that was chicken and peanut butter and jelly. And that was it. And my son might be even worse.
Oh, man. Laker's 15 and still living in that. Like, I think if he could just have a bag of chicken nuggets for every single meal, he would still just be happy as can be. But I was the kid who refused to eat anything fish. The smell would turn me off. Even to this day, I still struggle with it. However, when we went on a cruise to Mazatlan, to Mazatlan in Mexico, they do a lot of shrimping. Like they bring in mass amounts of fresh shrimp and they'll take it into a restaurant and fry it up for you or turn it into ceviche or do all of these things. And I was like, this is amazing. Why have I avoided this my entire life?
Yeah, even being picky growing up, fish was something I actually always liked. And steak, I was the kid that would order. There was a steak on the kids menu. I was getting it. There's a place in Florida we used to go that had filet on the kids menu.
Oh my gosh, you were not in my world.
So, you know what I figured out this week? Because I have a picky eater. His name is Liam. He's 14. And I discovered this week that if you tell him that it's expensive, we get steaks every now and then, whatever. And we went to Costco the other day and they have this sous vide steak that's already prepared and you just have to heat it up. And he would never eat that on a regular basis. And he's like, "But mom, is that an expensive steak?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's very expensive." He ate it. He was like, "That's the best thing I've ever eaten." I'm just gonna tell him everything from now
Yeah,
on.
it's an
It's just
expensive.
super expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Notice that we're all saying our sons.
Ridiculous little human beings.
My good friend is this great cook, and she made some food for us, and we sat down to eat it, and it had little oregano in it, little tiny flecks, and my son's like crying. He can't eat it. He can't eat the specks. There's specks of green.
Speaking of oregano, my husband takes all these like tinctures in the morning because he's ridiculous. He can probably hear me right now. But I was reorganizing his bin of tinctures and vitamins, and he had oregano oil, and I touched my eye with it, and it freaking burned so bad. I thought I was gonna like scratch my eye out.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever heard of that?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it does for you, but if you can just cut this out, Stacy, this is uninteresting, but I almost died.
I've touched peppermint oil to my eye before and oh, that's terrible.
Have you ever cut a hot pepper and then touched your eye?
Yes, this was worse than that.
Oh.
I
Oregano.
was making stuffed poblanos once back in my I used to cook era, and I touched my eye and I was desperately trying to put like breast milk, I think it was, in my eye.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, this has to work. It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is actually a perfect conversation because we're talking about food today. We are actually going to do something super fun here on the podcast. We're going to do a new series all on resort dining. But as we were talking about it, we realized, not that we didn't already know, but as we were really looking at it, the number of restaurants spread across all of Walt Disney World resorts, that there are too many to kind of fairly talk about in one episode, and too many that are niched in a certain way this way, and too many that have a special thing this way. And so we are going to rank them by their resort area. And then at the end, we're going to do a at the end of the series, we're going to do a very fun episode where we take the top picks from every episode and do the ultimate resort dining. So we have to re-rank a couple of these. So I'm really excited to start with the two of you today, talking about, I think, all of our mutual favorite area, maybe. Yeah, is this
For sure,
Yeah.
100%. Is there anybody that's not in our camp?
on the podcast
Yeah.
or in the world?
No, well, I mean, who cares about them?
uh,
No, like, have we converted Katie over to this area
Oh
yet?
yeah, I think she loves it, and she went to Trattoria for the first time. And wait, no, Stacy went to Trattoria for the first time.
Yeah.
Said it was as good as we said. Yeah, so everybody's there.
Well, thanks a lot,
Yep.
Stacy.
So we're gonna start with the Skyliner, which is actually really funny because it's mostly covering restaurants that are at Disney's Boardwalk area. We could almost say this is the Boardwalk area with the Skyliner involved, but a lot of people don't even realize that you can lump the Boardwalk area in with the Skyliner. But the international gates of Epcot, where the Skyliner does go from Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, Riviera, it will drop you off right there. It's just as close to Yacht and Beach Club as well as the Boardwalk, and of course the Marriott properties, Swan and Dolphin. So we're kind of talking about this resort area. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to rank the restaurants in our favorite resort area. Hey Smarties, did you know that just by listening to this ad, you can save on renting baby equipment from the #1 baby gear rental service across the US, Canada, and beyond? Of course, I'm talking about BabyQuip. When we're traveling, it is just life in a new place, but I don't have beds for my babies or even a high chair for them to eat in. And when we don't have our things, we do not have our rhythm, and it can make it really difficult to enjoy our vacation. Look no further than BabyQuip. With a wide range of baby and toddler equipment available, including cribs, strollers, car seats, toys, and more. BabyQuip helps give us some of that normalcy our kiddos crave and the peace of mind we need. When they are happy, we are happy. All products follow strict cleanliness and safety protocols, and they are there to ensure that you can really enjoy your vacation. Whether at a home, a hotel, a vacation rental, or whatever you're calling home for your vacation, you never have to worry. If you need it, they have it. BabyQuip is available in over 1,500 cities, making it accessible. So whether you're going to Disney World or Disneyland or some other travel destination, BabyQuip will have you covered. They have an easy-to-use online platform for quick reservations and easy customer support. So head to babyquip.com and use the code SMPOD, that's SMPOD, you can save $30 off of any order of $150 or more. That's SMPOD at babyquip.com. Pack light, travel happy. All right, we're talking Skyliner restaurants today, and we're not even going to be able to talk about all of them. So I want to be really clear. We actually kind of internally decided on what we felt were the top 7 based on experience and just, being experts in this area. But we are leaving a few off. We're not going to actually talk about the restaurants within the Swan and Dolphin. I just want to make sure that, especially Smarties listening, know that those resorts over there, they do exist. And they do actually have 4 or 5 sit-down restaurants that you can go to. They're not the Disney restaurants. And so we're not talking about those today. And then we actually even took a few off of the list that you can find. In general, the way we're breaking these down, and Becki, maybe you kind of want to give this rundown about the way this series is going to work.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Skyliner, what we would consider the top 7 restaurants based on what one has demand. Like, we are making dining reservations for our clients on the regular, and we're looking at the ones that are the most common, but also the ones that are hidden gems that we will recommend. I personally think that this area is so overlooked. I was talking to a client just yesterday, and they're like, I see people come in between UK and France. Where are they even coming from? So I think a lot of general public people don't realize that this area even exists. We're going to talk about the Skyliner area, the top 7 based on our travel agent perspective. And then we're also going to take 7 restaurants from busing resorts and then 7 restaurants from monorail resorts, and then find the best of the best. So what is the best of the Skyliner? That's what we're going to do right now, is look at these 7 options, rate them from 1 to 100, and see what comes out as the top in this Skyliner general area.
I don't know how these are going to fall.
I agree.
And when I was putting my numbers on them, this is my favorite area. So I really struggled putting them in my own order. And I realized I am really, really, really using personal preference in a lot of my scoring. And so I have no idea. A lot of times, like when we rank shows and rides, it's kind of obvious to me where things are going to fall. This could be, I cannot wait to see what happens here. We're going to start with a new one. We all went to it together. Mm-hmm. This was long anticipated. So the Cake Bake Shop on the boardwalk is in the beautiful corner spot of the boardwalk itself, and is very, very, very easy to get to when you are walking from the Skyliner or the Epcot International gates. It's right there as you approach the boardwalk. And we all went there for the first time together. The Cake Bake Shop actually started about an hour and a half from my house. The original location is up here from the Midwest, and just this woman started it, and now she has this giant location on the boardwalk, and we had a great time there. I don't want to give the first number. I don't ever like giving the first number. And Karla, since it's been a while since you were with us, you start us off. Talk about Cake Bake, your experience, and what you're going to give it.
Yes, so Cake Bake is, I think you kind of nailed it when you just said that a woman created it, because it is so feminine. It's super girly. think shabby chic. Think like if anybody watches Vanderpump on Bravo, think like Lisa Vanderpump, something that she would create because everything is just over the top floral, whites, pinks, just very light and airy. When I think of going here, I want to go with my daughter or my girlfriends. I don't necessarily want to go with my whole family. I don't think that my husband and son would appreciate the atmosphere and environment. But as far as the menu is definitely like it's vast. There's a lot of options. They do have like $30 pieces of cake. And to be honest with you, I would totally indulge in one. Why not? Like we're paying $30 for cocktails elsewhere. Why not split a really decadent piece of cake with your friends? Their lattes and cocktails are really good here. I rated it at an 85. And that's just based on really like what it has to offer as far as like there's no character components. I don't think I would necessarily go here for breakfast. I just think that 85 is still a really good score. And just keep in mind kind of your atmosphere when you're going there. Like, I don't think you would want to go there with, a group of baseball players. Not that you would even want to go to Disney with like a group of baseball players, but I mean, that happens all the time, right? Yeah, that's where I stand. 85. What do you guys think?
Cake Bake Shop is a dream world. I could not wait to go there when we got our reservation. I keep changing my number. I don't know where I want this to fall, but I can go next because I don't want to be accused of like
Rigging the system.
heavily swaying a score. Yeah, yeah. And so I'll go next to get mine out because I don't know where I want it to fall. But real fast, we went for the first time together. We all got a cocktail and a piece of or a treat. We didn't all get cake. Becki got some brownie thing that she could talk about. They make their own champagne, pink bubbles, they call it. It's like an in-house, we make our own champagne. It's glittery. A lot of the cocktails are glittery. When I went on the treasure over spring break, which I talked about here on the show, we went to Cake Bake Shop. There was a weirdly cold day where we were supposed to be swimming all day and it was just cold, so we couldn't. So we went with our whole group of 11 of us. We got a table at Cake Bake and we sat there for 3 hours, including my kids. We had a little room and we did the entire menu from cocktails to apps through lunch and dessert and more cocktails and lattes. We did it all, and every single thing we tried was delicious. We tried multiple slices of cake. I will say, I am with Karla. I would splurge on the cake, and my personal favorite was the mint chocolate cake. My littlest daughter and I both really love those flavors, and we split that and it was so good. But we just had so much fun. The poutine, you have like a what's that? It's like a jambalaya poutine, which
Be like my least favorite word ever.
yeah,
Every time you say it, I just
and
cringe. But proceed.
I know it's not a good word, but it tastes so good. And every single thing we tried was phenomenal. And like I said, we were able to sit there for so long. The cake, I think a lot of people may say, I just paid $30 for this. And maybe it's not the most delicious cake you've ever had, but I personally really did like it. I'm going to give Cake Bake Shop. Now I'm just vamping a little bit. You're right that I would most like to go there for lunch and dinner. Not, I don't even know if they're open for breakfast, or I think they do have a breakfast
They
menu.
do.
They do have they have a nice breakfast menu. Okay, I'm gonna let this land at 94. I'm gonna let this land at 94.
Oh, that's high.
OMG.
I really love the atmosphere. It is a very me place. The homemade, house-made bubbles, the glittery cocktails, the carousel horses. I have tried the entire menu through from, I told you, start to finish, and I wasn't disappointed at any turn.
I vote that this is Allie's most Magic Kingdom mom moment we have ever had on the podcast.
This feels like a woman did this, and she freaking rocked it. And
And she did it well. Yes, she did do it well.
I'm
I
giving it a
agree.
94.
All right. So this is not my scene. I am the person who is spending my days at the football field, at the sports games. That's my jam. And so this is not my typical go-to. I'm not a let's go have a pot of tea kind of person typically. However, oh my gosh, Katie ordered a pot of tea and it was the cutest thing ever. Could I just say that?
Everything here is cute.
Everything. Magical.
Including the unicorn above on the carousel.
Yes.
Yep.
And not just unicorn, like there's a drink. What isn't it called? There's a drink called the unicorn something.
Oh,
unicorn
my
hot
three,
chocolate or something.
all three of my kids when we were sitting there, I don't even want to talk about like we ordered everything. Remember, they all three got the unicorn bomb hot chocolate, and
Mm.
it was so cute.
Well, I'm going to go with the just I think this is the same thing that you were talking about. The blush and bubbles drink is what I got, and it was amazing. I could put it on tap. Literally, it's a very generous size glass, I thought. It had the
Mhm.
sparkles inside of it. It was grapefruit based, and oh my gosh, that just hits everything for me. I didn't have cake. However, I think that I would go back and just share a slice of cake and get drinks and be happy there. I don't know that I would necessarily go there for a meal myself. I had a snickerdoodle brookie bar kind of thing. I don't know if it's still on the menu. Maybe it was seasonal, but it was heavenly. And maybe it was just that we were all together and I was just super happy because everything we ate on that trip just felt heavenly. Like I loved it all. It was amazing. I'm not in the this is the best place on property camp, however. We went there. I went once with you. I went back again with Sean because he really wanted to try it. Here's the dilemma we ran into. He wanted to eat there because he had heard our great reviews. He had heard reviews from lots of his teacher friends, and he only could get a drink because he's allergic to dairy. And they literally had zero things on the menu for anybody who has a dairy allergy. Nothing. So, drinks was the only thing that he got, which he did enjoy the drinks, but it probably was a one and done for our family from that perspective at this point. So, I have to have that lens on as well. And so, I'm a little bit lower than you all, but not far. I would give it an 81.
As far as
I think that's
dining
fair.
plans, is this on the dining plan? Because I don't believe it is, and it's probably the only one on our list that's not on the dining plan.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are right.
So that's
Should we
something
look
to
at it?
note too.
Yeah. I forgot to write your guys' numbers down. Allie said 94, Karla said 85, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Perfect.
Remember when I said right before we started, I felt like I put a lot of me in my scoring. When I was thinking about cake bake, I was laughing because I kind of felt comfortable going a little high, knowing that you all wouldn't, and it probably won't end at the top of the list. But I just love it so much. If I can eat glittery food, that feels spectacular to me. But that is a bummer about the allergies and the dining plan. Those are great points. So, okay, I feel great about it. Are you looking to save on your transportation from your arrival to your destination when you travel to Orlando? Well, keep listening because we're going to save you some money. If you're planning your next trip to Disney, you've probably asked in some sort of online community, what's the best way to get from the airport to the resort? Well, let me help you out. MCO to Disney is the way to go. From the moment you book, they make things easy and stress-free. The day before your trip, you're going to get a personalized message with your driver's contact info, your travel details confirmed, and everything set up for you so that you can have a relaxing time and simply focus on the magic ahead. When you land, your driver is there waiting at baggage claim, holding a sign with your family name, ready to welcome you, just like the family that you are. Your vehicle will be spotless and your car seats already installed just how you requested them. And if you need a grocery stop, they've got you covered for no extra charge. But here's what makes them even more special. It's not just transportation. MCO to Disney knows it's the first moment of your vacation where your memories begin. So no crowded shuttles, no multiple stops, just you, your family, your time, and your ride straight into the magic. Start your Disney vacation the right way with peace of mind, comfort, and service designed to help you create unforgettable memories from the moment you land. Visit mco2disney.com. That's the number 2, mco2disney.com, and use code SMARTMOMS, one word, all caps, at checkout to save 10% on all transportation. That's going to move us to Trattoria Al Forno, and Becki is already just like applauding. So let's go to Becki first.
What is there not to love about Trattoria Al Forno? We have had breakfast there. We have had dinner there. They are not open for lunch. However, that doesn't matter. It is so, so good. The breakfast we had was these fluffy, like inch thick pancakes.
The best pancake you'll ever eat.
Oh, and they were sprinkled with, I think at the time it was a Rapunzel sun that we had sprinkled on ours. It was amazing.
I think they still do that.
Mm.
No, it comes with the compote, right? The like apple cinnamon compote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think at one point this was actually a character meal for breakfast, which,
Us,
hello,
yeah.
It was.
why do we not bring that back?
We went to it and it was Ariel, Prince Eric, Rapunzel, and Flynn. And that's why they did the Rapunzel flower on the pancakes, which I do believe they may still do, but the characters are not there and they do not anticipate that they're going to return, I asked.
Oh, they should bring that back. There should be a
Mm-hmm.
Rapunzel dedicated meal, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. So, breakfast, really, really great, really affordable. I actually think that this area, this boardwalk area in general, has some really great breakfast options that are among the most affordable you can get and superior to anything you're going to get in a park. Like, these are fantastic. But what brings us here is not breakfast. What brings us here is lasagna, in my own personal opinion.
I'm
You
pretty
get
sure
to
you're
have
getting a kickback every time you talk about this lasagna.
every time I say lasagna, they give me some sort of magic pixie dust. Definitely not money. Oh my gosh. I would be saying
Wish.
lasagna, lasagna, lasagna. It is so good. I actually don't only get lasagna though. Sean or I will get the lasagna historically. He can't have it at this point because of the newfound milk allergy. But melt in your mouth, amazing, amazing, best lasagna you'll ever have in your entire life. I actually really love the chicken parm here as well. We have had some food that we didn't particularly love. We have tried multiple pizzas here, and it's not necessarily our jam, but I'm more of a traditional pizza kind of person. So I can't waste an opportunity to eat at Trattoria and get anything other than lasagna or chicken parm from mine. And I know there's some other dishes that people love as well. But watching the open kitchen, like them preparing your food right there, it just have a good drink. I fell in love with a bottle of wine there. So much to love here. Bread service. Gosh, I could go on and on and on.
So what are you giving it?
Oh, you want my score
We're just
already?
like waiting for
Yeah.
you to like go on.
Yeah, we're on bated breath.
It's very hard for me to find anything to take as a negative here. Really. I considered giving this 100. However, I don't know if it's quite 100. I don't know what I would take a point away for, but I'm going to give it a 99. It's my favorite restaurant on all of Disney property.
Wow. All right. 99.
You have trattoria tattooed,
I would consider it probably.
a piece of lasagna.
Well, their lasagna is even beautiful. It's not like they cut out a Stouffer's rectangle of
Okay, we're
lasagna and put
cutting
it on
you
your
off.
plate.
We're cutting you off. Okay. Okay. When I think of trattoria, like, have you ever heard the saying at Disney, the only thing consistent at Disney is its inconsistency? Have you ever
I've
heard
never
that?
heard
Or is
that.
that
Never heard
like,
that.
or okay, so that's kind of a thing, right? But I could actually honestly say that I've never had a bad experience here or a bad meal here. Do I think that there are better?
I'm so glad that's the way that sentence went.
Yeah, no, like
Mhm.
I
You
felt
had
like
me
this
so
was
worried.
like the opposite of that because
Yeah.
you go here knowing that you're gonna pay money for a really good meal. And I cannot say that about probably 85% of the restaurants at Disney. And I really do think that the food quality here is amazing. I think the atmosphere is okay. I actually really, I think I've talked about, we got the chance to sit outside one time and I think it was like dead summer. It was hot, but it was like you didn't even notice because all you had was this view of the, what is the lake there? Echo Lake? No, what lake is that? Crescent Lake? No. Which one is it? Crescent Lake? Anyways, you're sitting out on the water, you're watching, the hustle and bustle of the boardwalk, which is part of the lore of the boardwalk that I love. When we went, we had the lasagna, we had like Aperol Spritz. And we've been there a couple times, but this was the one time that I do remember. That was just a really amazing meal. I had the shrimp pappardelle, which are those kind of like thick, they're probably like an inch thick noodles, and it was just like light and buttery and delicious. I have not been there for breakfast, but I did see some reviews that seemed that like maybe that was where the inconsistency lands and maybe the flavor wasn't necessarily there. They're shaking their heads at me, but so I think I gave it still a good rating, not as good as Becky's. I landed at a 93.
Yeah, that's fair. So we love Trattoria too. We stay in this area all the time. We were a boardwalk family growing up. And so I've always really loved this resort. And whenever we go to Disney, even if we're not staying in this area, we like to start our trip with a dinner at Trattoria. I like them. I'm also always getting lasagna. I think Zan is a chicken parm. She does the chicken parm, but she usually gets like a side of Alfredo noodles as well, because just all of the sauces there are really, really quite delicious. Glass of red wine and some pasta. This is, if you like Italian food, In my opinion, this is where you're going to find the best on property. If that's the type of meal you're seeking, this is where you should absolutely be getting it. I have done breakfast there multiple times, including when it was a character meal. But most recently, when we did it, we were staying at Beach Club. So we just walked over on a down day. They have French press coffee, which I just value and love. And when we got the bill, because, there are 5 of us and we had the French press and we probably got a couple of extra things. When they handed me the bill, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, "Did you charge us for everything?" And he was like, "We are a hidden gem at Disney. We are like just a less expensive, overlooked. People don't realize that it's so inexpensive." So it's all good for me. We are always going almost on every trip, and I gave it a 96.
That's good.
Hmm.
You can almost see Trattoria taking place of Tutti over in the Italian pavilion.
I
Oh,
wish.
I
Like when you
wish.
compare those two, like Trattoria just is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Tutto or tutti or whatever it is over in Italy. Ugh, it's not good.
Terrible.
It's not good.
It's
Not good.
terrible.
Okay, let's keep going. We are going to keep our walk down the boardwalk happening. So after Cake Bake goes Trattoria. After Trattoria, you hit Flying Fish, which is a signature dining restaurant. I'll go first because I haven't yet. This is a seafood restaurant. It is, if you are a seafood lover, probably the best option you can pick because I'm not a big fan of coral reef at Epcot. So if that's your day and that's the area you're in and you're wanting seafood, I would recommend that you go here instead. This is, I think I just said this is considered signature dining at Disney, which means it's a more upscale, pricier option. So here are my only issues with this restaurant. Upscale at Disney can be kind of hard with kids, depending on what the environment and atmosphere are. And this one feels a little stuffy and a little nice, like more of a date night vibe than a I'm going to sit down with my family on a Disney vacation vibe. And I do think it's a bit isolating in the sense that my family doesn't really love seafood. So it might be a little torturous to go there because it's not as broad of a menu or an option as some of the other places we go. Although the food, if you do like seafood, is pretty good. I just think it's a little bit of an isolating experience because of the type of restaurant it is and because of the menu itself. I think it's good. It's definitely above average, but because of the isolating factors and it's just not a repeat, you gotta go to Flying Fish type factor, I gave it just a little above average at a 62.
That was really mean.
Sorry. Go ahead then.
Go,
Rebuttal.
Becki.
For this is an overlooked for my family. We had signature dining is one of those things I'm moving into, kind of like Disney lounges is something that our family is moving into. I think there's phases in life. When you're in little kid mode, signature dining is one of those harder things to accomplish. Now being in the teenage world, we can let our kids do their thing and we do our thing sometimes where we don't have to be together the entire time. Or Sean and I go up for date weekends often. Flying Fish is one of those. Stuffy isn't necessarily the word that I had. This is a very odd restaurant to me. It's kind of long and skinny. It gave me a little bit of vibes of what's the one that's at the top of Coronado? Toledo that we went to. It kind of had a similar vibe to that, but there are some elements that are really, really cool. And if you are a fish person, like if you enjoy fish as the feature of your meal, I think that this would be a really good option for you. What really captured me in this restaurant is it's unique. There are fish chandeliers and bubble chandeliers that are just beautiful in this restaurant. And it didn't feel like every other restaurant, but it kind of gave me vibes of other restaurants. The food is not my palate. Like I said early in our episode, fish has never been something I sought out, but the quality is still good here. And also kind of a louder restaurant for Signature, which was interesting because Signature to me, Karla, I just think about our Signature experience we had in Animal Kingdom, and it was so like intimate and quiet. And this, it was not that.
Because we were the only ones in the restaurant.
It's true. We were like so early to be seated, but I just can't imagine that restaurant feeling loud. And Signature to me shouldn't be a loud restaurant. It should be more of like a toned down thing for me. So I don't know. It was just kind of a mixed bag for me. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I gave it a 78.
Okay, yeah, when I think of this restaurant, I think of it as I think that it should be at the top of a hotel,
Mhm.
top of one of the resorts. Like, I don't think it should be on the boardwalk because I do think it is a really special place, or it could be. I do think it is like many of the other signature restaurants we've discussed, it is that intimate date night type vibe. Leave your kids with a nanny or your parents or whoever, and go and enjoy an experience with your best friend, partner, whatever. When I look at the menu, because I haven't eaten here, but I did watch a series of videos, and I mean, it does look beautiful when the lights are dim, and like you were talking about that bubble chandelier with the fish, it is really stunning. When I look at the menu, it is definitely my palate. I do like that potato wrapped red snapper, looks amazing. I've heard amazing things about the char grilled steak being one of the best on property. I rated it at an 83.
That's fair.
Those are probably more fair than my score. I just couldn't get past the fanciness for my stage of life. This is again where I said I put a lot of myself in these scores, you know.
Hmm.
But it is beautiful, and yeah, I think that's probably going to average out just right for what this restaurant is. And Karla, that was a great point about where it's located. You know, I mean, I really appreciate that the boardwalk has a place like this, sure, but you're probably right that it would be better received and more well known, you know, on top of the Grand Floridian.
Because when I think about it, I think about Toledo's, I think about Topolino's, I think about California Grill, all being kind of those signature restaurants at the, rooftop. And I think that that's where this should be.
Hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
And it is so, I do feel like it's super underrated and not a lot of people know about it or go to it. And I think it has a lot to do with the location.
Yeah. And again, I'll just reiterate, if seafood is what you're seeking, this is where you should be turning. Probably, maybe. We're actually
The
gonna,
menu definitely reminds me of Narcoossee's quite a bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh gosh, and that is
Mm.
just so good. Yeah, we'll get there and
which was
yeah,
fantastic.
we'll get there in another episode. We do another one here. Cape May Cafe. Becki, we're back to you going first. We are across the water now from the boardwalk, still at the Skyliner drop next to Epcot. That's how we're making all these Skyliner options work. And you start us off here with Cape May Cafe.
Cape May Cafe is top 3 character meals for me. I
Of
love,
all,
love, love.
wait a minute, of all parks, resorts, everything?
Yes, I love it. They have these salted caramel beach buns that are to die for. You drizzle the yumminess over it. Like my mouth is literally watering thinking about this. I don't know if it's the food. I don't know if it's the characters. I don't know what it is that the price tag. This is a much more affordable character meal than a lot of the other options that you have, and we'll be talking about another one on this episode. But it is buffet style. You are going to get cheddar biscuits and gravy, delicious. Like I'm pulling on breakfast on what I love about Cape Bay Cafe because there is so much to love about this breakfast option. And then let me just quickly flip over, and they are dinner as well. And I love that this is following Flying Fish because when you think of Cape May for dinner, it is also buffet. It is not a character meal, and it is fish. Fish, 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 fish. However, it's unique fish. For me, I'm not a fan of buffets for dinner. I think it just puts your food all together. It's like the tale of two worlds here. I can't get on board with dinner at Cape May, but if we're talking breakfast, heck yes, every single time if I could do it. So it's a mixed bag for me.
So you gave it a.
I gave it an 84.
Okay. Karla, I'm interested to hear your take on this one.
I'm pretty close to you. I gave it an 82, and I do think that breakfast is where it's at. Again, I love seafood. I don't like buffet seafood. That's my thing. I like on a cruise ship,
Mhm.
massive amounts of seafood just in front of you
Mhm.
that just kind of sits there, and probably it doesn't sit there for very long, but I don't know, that just kind of turns me off a little bit. But I do think the breakfast and the obviously the character interactions and the selections are deserving, and the price tag more than anything. It is a one dining credit for breakfast.
Mhm.
I don't Is it a one
Mhm.
dining credit for dinner too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you love fried seafood, then you might really enjoy this for dinner as well. But I think it's a great option if you're staying at the boardwalk, if you're staying at the beach, the yacht club. I gave it an 82.
That's pretty close. Pretty close, but I didn't say what the characters are that are here, which well, this isn't necessarily focused on characters, but they are so cute. Minnie, Daisy, Goofy, and Donald in their beach gear. It's so cute.
Minnie's Beach Bash, isn't that what they call it? Minnie's Beach Bash?
Yes, it's Minnie's Beach Bash. Becky's right. That bread is, or the buns, or whatever they're called, they're really great. Zan loved this. breakfast. This like instantly became
Stacy
her
loved it too,
favorite.
right?
Who?
Stacy.
Stacy, yeah.
Oh, is it Stacy's top? Yeah. I liked it. I kind of thought the buffet was a little underwhelming. Very generic options. Very. Fine, fine. But Karla, I am right with you. I don't think oysters on a buffet or like that's just
Yell and eat shrimp again.
it's a little much for me, yeah, on buffet. But the character meal, it gets a lot of points there because it is a good experience. Characters are adorable. I love when there's a theme to the meal and they're very cute. And like I said, the food was fine. So I actually think my score is a little high for how I actually feel about it. I'm lower than all of you, but right there in the same window. I gave it an 80, just an 80 flat.
I think your take on the variety being somewhat vanilla,
Mm-hmm.
especially on breakfast, is what I
Mm-hmm.
actually like about it because I am a classic breakfast. Give me the pancakes, give me sausage, give me traditional breakfast. That's what feels good to me, and it's
Yeah.
what draws me there.
I think I'm just always looking at, especially the character meals, at what's the one food thing that it's. But I guess here it would be that bun. So
Yes, they're delicious.
maybe not quite fair, but I think the scores are good, and it's a decent meal. It's a good option, especially if you're staying on the Skyliner. It's very easy to get to, more affordable than maybe some other character meals. Hint, hint, and you're gonna have just as much fun. So it feels fair to me.
If you're looking for filling up and you do like that fried fish kind of vibe in food, you could probably fill up your family pretty well and have a decent experience. You're right outside of the back gate of Epcot, right across from the boardwalk on the beach, and probably have a price tag that doesn't give you sticker shock.
The price tag was the same amount for dinner as it is for breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
super reasonably priced, especially
Mm-hmm.
for a seafood feast, all you can eat buffet.
Yeah, pro tip, especially if you're staying on the Skyliner, a meal at Cape May for breakfast, character meal, would be a great thing to do on your Epcot day. So you rope drop Remy and then walk, 10 paces past the international gate and eat at Cape May and then go back to Epcot. That would be a really great way to spend your morning.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We are just over halfway through our rankings here of the Skyliner area resort dining. I'm excited about these next three we have coming up. We're going to do our Friend Like Me segment. Make sure you're listening to these friends because they are out there doing their thing and they're awesome at what they are doing. And we know that they will sprinkle some magic into your social media scroll. Looking for more Disney magic in that Instagram feed? Look no further than following our friend Andrea Herman at Adventuring with Andrea H right there on Instagram. She's always on the hunt for the best deals, so you know the price is going to be right, and she can help you build a trip that is unique as you. Whether it's a Disney dream, a tropical escape, or an epic adventure, she loves to customize every detail to fit your travel style. Following her is fun and planning with her is seamless. That's Adventuring with Andrea H on Instagram. Give our friend Mayella a follow on Instagram at Wishing at Disney. She is a stay-at-home mom who loves to homeschool her kids and take them to Disney World. She's an annual pass holder and she doesn't live in Florida, but still manages to go 2 to 3 times a year. She's fluent in Spanish, a mom of 2, and she's taken her kids as young as 1. She also has a kiddo with a medical condition and is super knowledgeable in military benefits and life as a spouse of a retired Marine. Follow Mayella at Wishing at Disney on Instagram. All right, we have 3 more that we are going to talk about here on the Skyliner Area Resort rankings. It brings us now to Beaches and Cream. And is it Karla's turn to go first?
I can talk about it. I've been there a couple of times. Okay, for this one, think nostalgic soda shop. Super cute. Burgers, grilled cheese, like basics. If you have a picky eater, they're gonna love it here. I've been a couple times with my family. I've been a couple times with some friends. Both times we have indulged in the kitchen sink, which is pretty pricey, but it's really an unnecessary indulgence that you do because it's fun. An alarm goes off. It is a spectacle. They scream a whole can of whipped cream, and like your stomach's about to get wrecked. Um, and both times we have not ever finished it. It's cutesy. You know what I do love about it is that they do have a walk up ice cream window. If you are just looking for a sweet treat, I gave it a 75. I think it's an okay option. I think it's fun. I think it's cutesy, nostalgic.
Yeah.
It has a jukebox, which is fun. What do you
Hmm.
guys think?
I'll go next because I'm excited to reveal my score here. Beaches and cream, we like it. Ice cream is the crown jewel here. You are going for the ice cream. We also get the Mickey sink. We actually have done the mini sink as well, which is a smaller version. And the sinks are actual Mickey and Minnie pants, like it's cute. And we've taken them home. And when my kids were little, they put them in their play kitchen and they would play with them all the time. But the milkshakes and the different mixers that you can do are crazy good. The food itself, I got like a grilled cheese, you
Hmm.
know.
You got a grilled
Um,
cheese.
yeah,
But
like
that's
it
supposed to be
was.
the best grilled cheese on property.
Well, that's why I got it, and it was. But how many grilled cheeses are we really comparing? I guess Woody's Lunchbox, I think, does a grilled cheese. I think I had onion on it. It's pretty good. It's fine. Zan got a burger. My son was happy with fries. So everybody was happy. It was a fun environment. And then of course the ice cream doesn't disappoint. Not the best food by a mile, but probably the best at what it's trying to do. And probably the best ice cream or up there for sure.
Hmm.
Anyway, also gave it a 75.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's right where I fell.
Yeah, Becky.
I'm definitely higher than you all. Like, this is a family favorite for us. Everybody is happy here. This feels like Woody's lunchbox food, but sitting down with air conditioning, not in the hot blazing sun of Hollywood studios. The tachos, McKenna would probably lose her mind if I did not mention the tachos because she dreams about these tachos at Beaches and Cream. I think that the kitchen sink is great to get just for the picture alone. It's one of those pictures that I just cherish from our memories because their eyes when they see it. It is so much fun. The grilled cheese, hands down, best grilled cheese on Disney property. If that's in your palate, that is 100% in my palate. I love it. I've also had the French dip sandwich there. Delicious. I don't have much to complain about this. I feel like prices are good. I feel like the vibes are so perfect to be sitting right next to Stormalong Bay with that kind of looking out over the whole boardwalk area. I truly love it. I gave it an 88.
I think that's fair. When we talked about when we were picking these, we took demand into account. Beaches and cream can be a very difficult reservation to score.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, this one is everybody wants to go here, and it's with good reason. Everybody wants that ice cream, which you can get at the walk up, but yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are trucking right along. Only a few more to go. Let's talk about ale and compass. Is it me? Do I have to go first on this one?
Your turn.
Seafood mostly, right? Ale and compass. And I love seafood. But when it comes to environment, this one falls really flat, unfortunately. I just think is dingy a fair word? I mean, do you guys agree?
Well, I didn't think it was dingy. I thought it was like super chic, or at least the lounges. I love all that like suede blue and the nail heads and all that
The
stuff.
lounge, the nautical lounge. So we had friends that got engaged on the beach right in front of where this restaurant is. And then afterward we toasted champagne right there in that lounge. And the lounge was super chic. I agree. I don't know, but just as a restaurant, it feels a little meh, not super fun, not a great environment when you're comparing it to some of these other options. Again, it's one of those more isolating experiences because while I love seafood, I kind of stand alone. Specifically breakfast though, they have dark chocolate waffles and they have like these dark chocolate shaving pieces. Very good, very unique. And this is the kind of offering that I'm looking for when I do this. So I was talking about a minute ago with Cape May. Like if I'm going here and I'm like, oh, you do this one signature thing really well, those are fun. So, 5 stars there. I actually think breakfast is going to be your more family friendly stop and eat here for breakfast, unless you're really wanting that seafood. But something about the environment just wasn't super for me. But the food is well balanced. This is a hard one for me to score. But because of all that, I gave it pretty well above average. I scored it mostly on the breakfast and not focusing too much on the other stuff. And I gave it a 70.
I had a feeling that's where you were going to go, was a 70. I even put in a 70 before you said that because that's kind of where I was thinking you were headed with that. I'm not
Hmm.
too far off. I actually really do love the yacht club. I may be in a phase of life where just quieter and slowing down feels more like the draw to Wilderness Lodge for me right now. Like you go through phases where you're in different spaces, and yacht club's among my very favorite. I think I would actually choose to stay at the yacht club over the beach club, which that is probably a hot take because I don't think that's what most people would say. Getting the option of being right there by Epcot, being in a quiet resort. And I think that's what I liked about the L and Compass is that it is quieter. It feels very similar vibe wise. If nautical's your thing, this is great. If it's not your thing, that's okay too.
Hmm.
But fish is not my thing. Breakfast, same thing. Breakfast is what pulls you here. Give me chicken and waffles. Yes, please. Their classic breakfast is great and prices really pretty reasonable, especially for the breakfast. This is also a unique. A lot of these things we've talked about do not offer lunch, and this does offer lunch. So another thing to consider. I'm not gonna rate this super high because fish is again not my favorite thing, but for the other things that it offers, specifically the breakfast, it pulls me at a 70.
Hmm. Look at that.
Okay. I ranked it a little bit higher, and I thought that for breakfast, they have a really unusual thing that they offer that I don't think, or I can't think of any other restaurant at Disney that does this. And it's the continental add on to your breakfast. So it's essentially like an all you care to enjoy situation for the continental part. So your pastries, granola, oatmeal, that type of thing. And you add it on with your entree and then you get your coffee. And the price is still super reasonable.
Mhm.
And like you said, just their offerings in general for breakfast, I think just are really delicious and, decent offerings. It kind of reminds me of Steakhouse 71 over at the
Hmm.
Contemporary. But as far as like a setting, I think I would rather be here because I don't really like the setting over at Steakhouse. And I like this added feature of the Continental All You Care to Enjoy add on. Also, have enjoyed, like I said, the lounge and the Parker rolls are definitely a standout. And just the cocktails, the craft cocktails are delicious. The truffle fries are amazing. I scored it at an 80, so I did a little bit higher. I think it's a decent option. I do feel like it feels just very much like a hotel. We have to put a restaurant in, so this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think that's kind of exactly encompasses what I felt about the atmosphere. Is
Hmm.
it feels like we're just putting this here because we kind
We're
of have
checking a box.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those chocolate
I wouldn't
waffles,
go out of your way. I wouldn't go out of your way to go here. I think there are better options.
not when, the Trattoria breakfast and the Cape May breakfast are right there,
Hmm.
But those chocolate waffles are pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
I do also want to get back there and try the donut flight. I know that that is a dessert that's kind of unique to this space.
But isn't this really interesting that we're all really focusing on breakfast here? And this is a like mostly a dinner place, like a seafood dinner place, and we're all talking about breakfast. So that
Yeah.
I think that says something as well.
Yeah, it really does.
We only have one more, and I cannot
But
wait to talk about it.
it's a good one.
Yeah, Beck, you get to start. It's Topolino's.
Topolino's, I think, dare I say, stole the crown from historic Disney dining lore that Chef Mickey's was the go-to character meal. So Topolino's, I want to actually think about Topolino's similar as other ones we've talked about in that it's two different experiences. In the morning, it's a character meal. It has the cutest daisy on all of Disney property, in my opinion. However, they've made some changes to their format of how you do this. What used to be an all you care to eat meal is now you order one main entree. I don't like that step backwards because I think historically getting to try multiple things felt good about the price tag that comes with Topolino's. But the views at this restaurant, it is at the top of the Riviera, looking out over, gosh, you can see really, really far. You can see Animal Kingdom in the distance. You can see Epcot. If you're there at nighttime, you can possibly see the fireworks from Epcot. You would have to go outside of the restaurant in order to get the music for Luminous. However, you can still see them from inside if you have a window view or even just seeing it in the distance. Really, really good addition. There's not much to dislike about this restaurant. The location right on the Skyliner is great. Riviera is a resort worth visiting. The food quality, fantastic. A much, much more upscaled version of a character breakfast, like you're thinking steak and eggs kind of thing, much more, or like I think they have a sour cream waffle. Ugh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's not my favorite character meal on property, but it is for a lot of people, so I don't want to discount that away from it.
And you gave it.
I gave it a 91. I think it's pretty great.
That feels a little harsh. First of all, we just talked about characters being in theme. At Topolino's, they are art themed, which pulls everything out of me that I love. They're all different types of artists. Minnie is in fashion, Mickey is a painter. Donald is, what's Donald doing? He's got the stripes on. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's a photographer
I
or
think
something.
he's sculpting. I think he's a
Oh yeah,
sculptor.
sculptor. Yeah, sculptor. And Daisy is a dancer. She looks like she's like ready to step right on stage in a musical, which for any Smart Moms travel agents listening today, our hidden Mickey will be musical. I love these characters in this form. It is not my favorite character meal, but it is my favorite Mickey meal. You know, if you're trying to meet members of the Fab Five or the Sensational Six, this is my favorite place to do it. Food is great. Becki, you said it's more upscale, which may make people a little nervous to bring their kids. No, 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 no. The best kids meal for breakfast on property is the painter waffles. They bring your Mickey waffles on like sticks to look like paintbrushes, and then they bring them on a painter's tray, and all of the little dips, the syrup, and there's like a strawberry thing and maybe a whipped cream. I'm not sure what they all are, but they're in the little paint spots, so it looks like an artist's palette. I've never had a bad experience there for breakfast. And then at dinner, you get signature dining, right? It's 2 meal credits at dinner because it's really nice. It would be an upscale place to eat, and the food is great. Plus, you can enjoy a cocktail or a relaxation out on that terrace, which any restaurant that's going to include a terrace with views is just automatically gaining points. Plus, it's fun. My kids will play like I Spy up there. Like, it's so fun to try to identify different things you know from Disney. You can see, like when Becki says you can see Animal Kingdom, what you're actually seeing is the top of the tree of life, and you can see how differently it stands above the other trees, or the top of Expedition Everest, or you can see the top of Summit Plummet from Blizzard Beach. So it is fun just to scope out these things that you love. It's perfect. It's perfect in experience and flavor, and the cost is a bit prohibitive, and so I took off a singular point and gave Topolino's a 99.
Mm.
Okay. I have very similar feelings about this restaurant. I always kind of associate some of my scores with my experience there and like where we were at in life when we went there. And both times that I've been there, it's just been like a really joyous, everything was perfect. And I'm not really referring to like everything at the restaurant was perfect, but just my family was perfect that day. And you can't always say that. So like that obviously is always going to add points when I have that kind of situation. I think oftentimes with character meals, you either have really great character interaction and oftentimes you have to take that because your meal isn't going to be as great and you're like paying for just your character interaction. I think here you're paying for both. You're getting probably one of the best meals you're going to have for breakfast, just a really elevated, just a really high quality meal, but you're also getting that high quality character interaction and kind of a show the way they dance around, and it's just really amazing.
The dining room isn't massive, and so
No,
you really
it's
can see them.
open, like you can see them no matter where they're at in the restaurant, where you're sitting, you have a view of them. And there's just big open walkways and you don't feel cramped at all. Also, I looked up what Topolino means. Did you guys know that that's what Italians call Mickey Mouse? I didn't even know that.
Yes.
When you compared it to like Chef Mickey's in the beginning, like this is the ultimate Mickey Mouse experience. I love it there. I've also had dinner there. Just a really nice signature, elegant meal. Go at sunset. The views, like you guys were talking about, are absolutely amazing. I have this picture of London with the sun hitting her face, and it's probably one of my favorite pictures. I gave it a 97.
Mm.
I think it's probably one of the best restaurants on site. I didn't give anything a perfect score, but that was my highest.
Yeah, but I'm just following along. I can't see any totals, but I something bad just happened. I know it. I just
I
know
don't think
it.
so. I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna get these totals, and then Becki's gonna reveal, and then I'm gonna either be right or wrong, and we'll talk about it. This was really fun. I knew this was going to be fun. That's all of the restaurants we're going to rank here in the Skyliner area. I have now hidden that part of my screen to see the order in which they fall because I like to be surprised as Becki reveals them. A couple honorable mentions that we didn't talk about. 4 restaurants at Swan and Dolphin. We decided we definitely wanted to acknowledge that they were there, but since the Swan and Dolphin are not Disney owned properties and the restaurants aren't really Disney owned, we let those kind of be a separate thing. Yachtsman Steakhouse, we actually decided that we were going to pick between Ale and Compass or Yachtsman because they're kind of similar vibes. And we just thought Ale and Compass had more to offer. And Sebastian's is a sit down restaurant at Caribbean Beach that is just forgettable, and I really feel like you're just going there if you're staying at that resort. And the purpose here is to talk about food that you're going to travel to resorts to eat at. And I just can't see encouraging somebody to go to Caribbean Beach to eat at Sebastian's. So that's how we ended up here. If you enjoyed this episode, found it helpful, maybe you're going to try a new restaurant you haven't tried already, be sure to let us know by leaving us a review, joining us in our social media communities at Smart Moms Plan Disney Podcast, especially on Facebook, where the conversation continues every single week, and leave us those 5-star reviews. It helps us continue to do this. We can't wait to talk about every resort dining area, and you giving us a 5-star review is just a little way to help us continue to get there. So Becki,
we ready?
I'm nervous. I'm extremely nervous because if we do this ultimate resort
Be nervous.
dining,
Are you worried that Trattoria is going to be?
I already know what's going to happen here, but here's what I want to say. I'm nervous because we're doing the ultimate resort dining experience. So, 1 or 2 of these are going to be re-ranked against some other things in a later episode. So this matters. This is like a bracket that really matters.
That's true. That's true. All right. Top 7 of the ones we've ranked. Number 7, coming in with a score of 73, is Ill Encompassed. Does that surprise anyone?
No.
Seems fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one actually does surprise me. I didn't know where this was going to fall. So number 6, barely beating Ill Encompass is with a 74, is Flying Fish.
These are the bottom 2. I had them in reverse order on my personal order, but yeah, either way, this makes sense.
Yes, this next one is going to crush my McKenna because it is her favorite Disney restaurant as a 17-year-old Disney adult in the making. She, with a score of 79, is Beaches and Cream.
Don't you think, though, for having a score of 79 and being this low, it just kind of speaks to how good the food on the Skyliner area boardwalk is?
100%. This is such a hidden gem of amazing dining. Number 4, with a score of 82, is Cape May. Seems fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, with a score of 87, is Cake Bake.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, this is less than 1 point difference
I know.
These two. Number 2, with a score we would round to a 96, but it's actually a 95.666, is Topolino's, which puts Trattoria as the number 1 restaurant on the Skyliner with a score of 96.
I disagree with.
I do not disagree with. I think
Topolino's has to be 1. I mean, it just is. I was kind of looking
the character meal.
I just think that the range of offering, I mean, I'm glad we're having this debate because to me, I'm like, Topolino, I love Trattoria. I talked about it. I gave it a really high score. I love it for breakfast and dinner, but I love Topolino's for breakfast and dinner as well. And you're getting character and signature,
and just the meal at the top of the Riviera is just way more elevated in all the ways.
If you would have scored Topolino's a 98, they would have tied, or a 99, it would have won.
Or if Allie broke her not willing to give something 100, it would have.
Well, it's the price. I had to take off a little. It's not perfect because some would say it's far too expensive.
Yeah, that's fair. All 3 of us gave both of those something in the 90s. So that speaks to the quality of both of these restaurants. I also think, coming from my own perspective, I guess, I've eaten at Trattoria probably 10 times. I've eaten at Topolino's twice. And so what's taking me back over and over and over? Trattoria.
No, it's the lasagna. Let's be honest.
Interesting. So just for some more perspective here, because we all did give all of this 90s. I scored Topolino's 3 points higher than Trattoria, just for perspective on how much we love both. Karla scored Topolino's 4 points higher than Trattoria. Becki scored Trattoria 8 points higher than Topolino's. That feels a little harsh.
That kickback, I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right.
I'm down for them to give me a kickback. I wish I was getting a kickback from Trattoria.
What does everybody else think? We want to know on socials, right? Which is your favorite?
Yeah, and why?
Did we mess up here?
And what is going to be interesting is when we continue on this resort dining series, both of these will probably get to be re-ranked. And there might be a bit of a redemption round for Topolino's when you're looking at it in perspective to other things that we're talking about. So that will be really fun and interesting. I am so excited about this new series. Resort dining, man, you gotta not overlook it. People just don't even realize that your Disney fun goes well beyond the parks, and this is gonna help get us there. So that's gonna do it for us on another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. And until next time, we'll see you real soon.
Every time you say Skyliner, have you seen the video? Or you can take the Skyliner.
No, but
No.
See, this is why I need to get off of the interwebs.